you seen that Donald Trump has said that Theresa May has a chance of being like Churchill? It's just ridiculous. I mean, how's that ever going to happen? To do that, she'd have to win a war against a fascist, and there's not going to be one of those anytime soon. Unless Trump's got something planned. In at number 3 this week, it's Boris Johnson, whose campaign to become Prime Minister continues with all the stealth of a pissed giraffe. His latest wheeze was to demand more money for the NHS. After all, it's a tried and tested tactic that's won him a vote before. Unfortunately, he only demanded a fraction of what he promised during the referendum campaign. He briefed journalists that he was going to do it before the cabinet meeting, and then most of his colleagues slapped him down. In fact, it got quite brutal. Philip Hammond started referring to Boris as Mr. Johnson. I mean, can you imagine the sting of no longer being on first name terms with Philip Hammond? Still, it hasn't all been bad for Boris this week. It turned out that a mysterious mummified corpse in Basel was in fact one of his ancestors. But was the female corpse anything like her descendant? Well, very difficult to say. All we know about her is that she had a bit of fun and caught syphilis. No comment. In at number 2 this week, it's David Davis, who was asked some questions about an article he wrote just after the referendum, where he said that he thought we would have trade deals ready to go by this autumn. This obviously never could have happened because Article 50 would never have expired by then. Ah, he said, but I wrote that article before I became a minister, which he did. 2 days before he became a minister. So basically what he's saying is that he used to chat shit about stuff that he didn't have to know about, and now he's chatting shit about stuff that he really should know about. Incidentally, we haven't mentioned Labour much recently, so in the interest of balance, here's a summary of their response to ongoing events in the medium of song.
It's oh so quiet.
And in at number 1 this week is the attendees of the President's Club dinner, where women were only invited as hostesses, and then some of them were sexually harassed or groped. Now, the people who've actually been named as attendees of this dinner have 2 things in common. Firstly, nobody has made any accusations against them. And secondly, they all claim to have left rather early. These include people like Government Minister Nadhim Zahawi, who was nominated by our follower Alicia Hawley. Now, Mr. Zahawi said that he left early after he started to feel uncomfortable. Do you know what? I've actually got some sympathy for him, because it's always dreadful when a party that glories in being the most un-PC event in the year that you've attended twice before suddenly descends into an appalling lech fest. I mean, if only he had some way of knowing.